That was my impression of Blue's Clues. 2019 to 2021 was a crazy time on social media, y'all. Pandemic, social media, TikTok lore. I feel like most of us remember the Hype House with Charli and Dixie D'Amelio, Addison, Lil Huddy, everybody else. There's too many to name right now. I'd be here for like 10 minutes if I named all of them. But something that's probably buried deep in the back of your mind. The TikTok creator content house that caused such a ruckus that the mayor of Los Angeles, California himself had to cut off their power and their water. The content house that literally Ariana Grande had to call out on the national news. The Sway House. I forgot about the Sway House until I read all of your guys' comments telling me to make a video about the Sway House and what happened to the Sway House and all the Sway House lore on my Where Are They Now? The Hype House members YouTube video that I did a couple weeks ago. So today we're gonna unpack the Sway House lore. Who were they? What happened to them? Why were they beefing with the Hype House members? What is all the lore about the Sway House? Most importantly, where are they now? Are they still working? Did they fall off? Are they in jail? Like the Hype House members? But first, smash subscribe to find out. Hey y'all, it's ELIANAM and welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about pop culture, trending topics, and sometimes social media scandals. It is my birthday week, and what did I do? I threw a Pinterest-themed birthday party complete with a heart-shaped cake, that's right. And yes, this is my second iced coffee without any real food of the day. And I'm actually on vacation. Woo! Because I'm on vacation, I will not be uploading a new video next week. And also, it's 4th of July weekend and also Canada Day weekend. So I kind of figured that people have plans anyways, or like people are gonna be busy. So like y'all probably have better things to do than watch my YouTube videos. So that's why what we did for my birthday vacation, because I've been seeing it all over social media forever, y'all. We rented an RV. A recreational vehicle. I have been wondering about RV life forever, and I feel like everyone that I talk to about RV life is like, oh my god, I want to try RV life, I want to get a van. So that's why I decided to finally explore the truth about RV life. Maybe because like the economy is so bad, people are like really glamorizing RV life, and it's become like sort of like a viable option now for people to move out of their family's house and like live alone. So let me know if y'all want like a little commentary video on RV life, why Gen Z loves RV life, and like why RV life is romanticized and idolized, and also how companies are trying to now profit from RV life. Like, hello, we're literally living in our cars. Like, can you leave us alone? Corporations, what more do you want from us? Okay, that's enough chatter. Let's get into it. All right, so what is the Sway House? Or rather, what was the Sway House? So the Sway House is a content creator's house. So it was for TikTokers, but they didn't refer to themselves as TikTokers. They referred to themselves as content creators because they thought the term TikTokers like had too much negative energy surrounding it, because everyone was hating on TikTokers at the time, because like TikTok had just blown up over the pandemic, and all of a sudden everyone's YouTube video views dropped and people weren't liking posts on Instagram anymore. It was all about like, seriously, TikTok stole all of the attention for short-term content, and everyone was just bashing TikTokers because like all you really had to do back in the day, like 2020, was like be funny or be pretty or like dance and follow the trends, and then anybody could go viral. Like, I remember, y'all, I posted like the stupidest stuff on my TikTok over the pandemic because I was so bored, and like I remember that was some of the easiest time ever to go viral. Like, I think I posted like myself dyeing my own eyebrows and it got like 250,000 views, and that was like my first video. But this was my old TikTok account. Old. Like, I had like a separate one on the pandemic. It's like deleted now because I like didn't want that to be part of my lore, so I deleted it and pretended it never happened. This Sway House was located in Los Angeles County, California, and it housed a total of 9 members, which is significantly lower than the Hype House, because the Hype House had like people coming in and out and in and out like it was like a barber shop. I think in total there was like 25 different Hype House members over the years of the lifespan of the Hype House. The Sway House was like in competition with the Hype House, but it didn't do that well, because the Sway House also only had male members. And because it only had male members, it kind of gave like Team 10 House, but almost a little bit worse, where they kind of just acted like these crazy frat boys and would throw these big parties and would do these like weird skits and pranks. But then they would also like, they all kind of looked the same and they all kind of just dressed like frat boys too. So they kind of got clowned a lot online compared to the Hype House. Like, people didn't take it seriously. There was an old Sway House and a new Sway House. So Sway House Generation 1 was Sway House in 2020. Sway House Generation 2 was Sway House that was then sponsored and owned by Triller. What's weird about the Sway House is like they were only really kind of a thing for 2 years in 2020 and in 2021. An interesting thing about content houses, most times it's just a bunch of creators coming together and renting a house together, but the Sway House was actually created by a talent management company. Oh my god, and it was also created in Bel Air for some reason. That's a very expensive, old money rich area in Los Angeles County. It's part of actually Beverly Hills. Bel Air is like really old money rich. I don't know how or why they were able to acquire or afford a house in Bel Air. Not to throw shade, but in 2020, there was no such thing as TikTok Shop or TikTok Rewards or even Creator Fund. So if you were big on TikTok, you couldn't monetize your videos. People kept saying that the Sway House, their brand compared to the Hype House was like edgy. We're just like cool guys. We're just edgy. We're like a little bit emo, but not super emo, because we're just like edgy enough to be like emotional guy that just like cares, but also like doesn't care, you know? Like we just don't care. That's like their brand. Blake Gray, Quentin Griggs, Noah Beck, Anthony Reeves, Griffin Johnson, Kyle Sear, Josh Richards, Jaden Hossler, and Bryce Hall were all the members of the Sway House. It's basically just like a bunch of hyper masculine frat guys who would like be like, I'm like soft and I like have feelings and I'm talking about my feelings right now, which makes me cool. They actually had their own mobile game, and the mobile game was kind of like episode where like you could, you know, pretend to be them and like click to do stuff, I guess, like Kim Kardashian Hollywood or like episode. But the gameplay for it was like really cringy, and this was something that was created later on after most of the famous Sway House guys actually left the Sway House. It actually only had 2 Sway boys in it, and it just kind of constantly glazes the Sway House. Every time the characters in it talk, they're like, yeah, like the Sway House, like, is the best. Also, it just talks about how rich they are and like how famous they are and how big their house is. So it's just a game that is created to constantly glaze the Sway House.
Looks like I'll be talking to her first.
No way, bro. That was a tie.
Okay, pretty fucking awesome transition with the water.
Oh my god, the 2020 hair, y'all, the 2020 hair. Why is your entire hairstyle over top of your eyes? So we've talked about a little bit of lore. So let's talk about like some of the Sway House controversy or some of the reasons that you might remember the Sway House before we get into each of the members and where they are now. So, okay, so the first and biggest controversy that is also the reason why the Sway House was beefing with the Hype House is because of a girl named Nessa Barrett. So this is messy, y'all. This is really fucking messy. So hold on to your hats because I'm about to tell you the craziest homie hopping story that y'all have ever heard. I don't really fully know who she is. I just know that she's an influencer. She's like a singer now, and I think she might have done some modeling also. I feel like she does a lot of stuff. Nessa Barrett has a lot of lore on her name. So maybe I'll do a video about Nessa Barrett separately, because I feel like she's actually a very interesting individual. So Nessa Barrett was dating Josh Richards, who was one of the original founders of the Sway House. Nessa Barrett was dating Josh Richards since 2019, so they had been dating actually before he started the Sway House. So in summer of 2020, 6 months after the Sway House was officially created, Nessa and Josh ended up breaking up. People say it was like just because they drifted apart and apparently they left on good terms, but they ended up breaking up. But only a few weeks later after they broke up, Nessa Barrett was spotted kissing. Well, allegedly spotted kissing Lil Huddy, aka Chase Hudson, aka Huddy now in 2025, of the Hype House. But Josh Richards still had a lot of bad blood because I guess maybe Josh just didn't want somebody else kissing his ex-girlfriend, even though like they literally broke up. I don't know if she dumped him. It kind of sounds like maybe she dumped him, but he was all, you know, in his head. He was all up in arms. He was all angry that Lil Huddy had dared to kiss Nessa Barrett. So Josh Richards and Bryce Hall dropped a diss track towards Lil Huddy titled Still Softish, implying that Lil Huddy had crossed the line. Still Softish lyrics. Broke bitch, broken ass nose, small dick, still softish, toxic, you act like you poppin'. No bitch, you built like a chopstick. Talk about money you got. You know you ain't got a lot of money. No money, time's running out. 18 till you get choked out. Oh wait, clocked. Wait, 18 till you get clocked. Choked out would have been a better line, not gonna lie. I'm a better writer than you, clearly, Josh Richards. So fast forward to 2021. In April of 2021, Nessa Barrett starts dating another member of the Sway House called Jaden Hossler, who is now known as Jaden with an X. So this is controversial. Jaden Hossler was currently dating a actress named Mads Lewis. But during their relationship, Nessa started hanging out with Jaden while he was still in a relationship with Mads. After he was caught hanging out with Nessa, Mads deleted all of the photos that she had with Jaden. I already got them confused. And then started posting like Taylor Swift lyrics on her story, and then officially confirmed in April of 2021, Mads officially announced that they had broken up. And this was messy because Mads Lewis was also kind of mutual friends with Nessa Barrett at the time. This is alleged. All of what I'm about to say right now, this is alleged. This is from J14, which is like a teen pop magazine. But I'm just gonna read this to you. According to Mads, she said, "I love her to fucking death. She was my best friend. We lived with each other for about 3 months. All we had was each other." But in July of 2020, Mads claimed that she asked Nessa if they could attend a party together at the Hype House, where Nessa replied, "Nobody wants you there. Nobody likes you." So after hearing that, Mads was the one who actually told Jaden that Chase Hudson had kissed Nessa Barrett, which of course Jaden then told Josh Richards that Lil Huddy had kissed his ex-girlfriend, and that's what caused the whole diss track and the whole beef at first. So months after this, Mads and Nessa started to become friends again. I'm gonna say probably fall of 2020 or winter of 2020. And then Mads said that she started being rude to me and everybody in the house. Now, where do they stand? Mads said she texted Nessa, "F you," when the news about her and Jaden first broke. Wow. Okay, so allegedly, Nessa Barrett was actually Mads Lewis's best friend, and then ended up actually stealing her boyfriend, Jaden. Okay, so in April of 2021, Nessa Barrett and Jaden Hossler got matching tattoos, and that's apparently right when they made it official and started to date. When news broke that Lil Huddy had kissed Nessa Barrett, I can't believe I didn't figure this out in the Hype House video. I can't believe I missed this, but apparently Lil Huddy had cheated on Charli D'Amelio with Nessa Barrett. So that is why Charli D'Amelio and Lil Huddy broke up. I can't believe I didn't know about this. I think it's like so hard to keep up with this stuff, like when so much drama happens at the same time. It's just like, yeah. Charli D'Amelio then went on a Twitter rant about Chase Hudson and all of his actions. And then somehow people unfollowed her. Weird. But she actually had to apologize later on for tweeting about Lil Huddy and airing him out for cheating on her. So I don't know. That's like, y'all, everyone who unfollowed Charli D'Amelio, you guys are not girls. So Chase Hudson, angry at the Sway House for airing out the fact that he cheated on Charli D'Amelio with Nessa Barrett. Chase Hudson then started exposing people in the Sway House for also cheating on their girlfriends. But then if you're angry for Mads, that's okay, because Jaden ended up cheating on Nessa Barrett anyways with another girl named Josie. If you are the other woman, you will get other womaned. Just a smart tip for all of y'all out there. Lil Huddy also allegedly exposed Jaden Hossler for also trying to hook up with Dixie D'Amelio while Dixie was dating somebody named Griffin. The other big thing that you might remember the Sway House from is the COVID pandemic party that they threw. This was a massive event. I believe it had like 100 people in attendance. I briefly touched on this in my Hype House deep dive when I was talking about Bryce Hall. The party that they threw was during a lockdown in Los Angeles, California, and it did not respect quarantine laws. It did not respect social distancing laws. This party was so big, and also they had thrown multiple parties before, but this particular party that they threw, I believe this was for Bryce Hall's 21st birthday, that they threw a big pool party. The mayor of Los Angeles, California received so many complaints and reports about Bryce Hall's birthday party at the Sway House that he shut off the power and the water in the house, I think for a full week. In Bryce Hall's 21st birthday vlog, it's titled I Turned 21, where he just like entirely downplays how big his party got. Like, as you can see, Bryce Hall literally just makes it look like he just went out for drinks with his friends, and he completely just downplayed the fact that they threw a huge birthday party for him at his house, which you can only find footage of from Snapchat archives, by the way. Because like I said, this was during a lockdown because we had a global pandemic, so he tried to just play it off as if this didn't happen. Okay, yeah, whatever, buddy. Moving on. So one other thing to note about the Sway House, it gets kind of confusing in 2021 when people start leaving, because some of the members left to like live in their own house and then start something called the Sway Gaming, where they invested in their own game, and that's why they have their own video game. So I don't know, like it kind of just like trickled apart until eventually Bryce Hall was like the only one left in the Sway House, and then like it kind of just ended out of nowhere. So like that's kind of, it kind of gets confusing. Everyone was only living all together in the same house for like literally 1 year, and then less than 1 year after its creation, people had already started leaving to pursue other things. So when I refer to Sway House Generation 2 in 2021 owned by Triller, I'm just talking about like a Triller house that they all live in that wasn't actually officially the Sway House, but like all the Sway boys lived in it all together and like filmed in it all together. But yet, like, I guess they just didn't want to call themselves the Sway House, but like technically they were the Sway House, but they just didn't want to go by the Sway House anymore. The Trill House or the Ill House, I'm gonna call it Sway House Gen 2, because why make things complicated, had actually 7 of the Sway House members living in it, including Josh Richards, Noah Back, Griffin Johnson, Bryce Hall, Jaden Hossler, Quentin Griggs, and Blake Gray. So pretty much, y'all, pretty much everyone was moving into this new Triller Ill house. So now that we've covered pretty much like all the lore of the Sway House, because like I said, like this house was only a thing for like 2 weeks. So other than the whole cheating scandal where basically like every single guy was exposed for cheating, and the whole Nessa Barrett situation, and the fact that they threw huge gatherings and got their power and water shut off, now let's talk about each of the members of Sway House. What happened to them? Who were they? And where are they now? Alright, so let's start with the most notable person in the Sway House, Bryce Hall, Mr. Bryce Hall himself.
I'm gonna knock out Austin because I'm an actual fighter. I've been in probably over 40 street fights. Oh, wow!
I already covered a lot about him in the Hype House thing. I don't know if I really want to do the whole Bryce Hall thing again. I'll give y'all like a reasonable description, but if y'all want to know more about Bryce Hall, I talked about him and Addison Rae's relationship in this video right here. Why are all the Hype House members in jail? Bryce Hall was kind of notorious for starting a lot of drama and a lot of beef online. He was also in a 2019 documentary called Jawline, where he talked about how his old manager, Michael Weist, who is also the guy who managed TanaCon, that Michael Weist allegedly touched him inappropriately. However, later on, Bryce then backtracks his statement and said, oh no, like I didn't actually mean that, like you guys just misinterpreted what I was saying, but Michael Weist didn't do that. So I don't know what the validity is behind that. I don't know if he was paid off. I don't know if that's a true statement, that's a false statement. Bryce Hall was also one of the original founders of the Sway House, though not a founder on paper, not officially founder. He was like one of the first people that signed and agreed to start the Sway House. So Bryce Hall was somebody who had quite a temper, to be honest. He was a little bit of a hothead. So he was arrested on drug charges, possession of marijuana in Texas on May 25th, 2020. He was also charged with a misdemeanor because of his COVID birthday party, in violating the Safer LA Health Order and the city's Party House Ordinance. In October of 2020, Bryce Hall got into a fight with a restaurant employee on camera. This whole thing was filmed on camera, by the way. And then the employee later sued him for battery, assault, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and engaging in acts of violence motivated by race, national origin, citizenship, immigration status, and primary language. That kind of insinuates that Bryce Hall was calling this restaurant employee a bunch of racist slurs and then started to beat him up. Bryce Hall was also featured in the He's All That movie in a cameo, and starred in a movie called Skill House. In 2021, Bryce Hall fought Austin McBroom in a YouTubers versus TikTokers boxing match and lost. He actually almost got knocked out and was never paid for the fight, even though he was promised $5 million by Austin McBroom. But also, none of the fighters were ever paid to fight in the TikTok YouTuber boxing match from Austin McBroom because he scammed everyone. Started bare knuckle boxing in 2023, which is boxing without any gloves. Most recently, y'all might know him from always constantly getting himself into drama. You'll see a random Bryce Hall video, like it'll be like stitched by Bryce Hall. It'll be like someone talking about something and then there's Bryce Hall stitched in the video. He also was seen endorsing Donald Trump for $2 million at a rally in 2024. Many times. Now he just posts TikToks still. So that is Bryce Hall. Jaden Hossler, the relationship goon. So Jaden Hossler's first ever viral video on TikTok was when he slapped his sister with a slice of ham. On top of that, he also dated a bunch of people and caused a lot of drama. We already touched on that. Now he makes music under the name Jaden. Jaden Hossler also was notorious for talking about mental health. He was like one of the guys that would speak out. He talked about suicide and his struggle with depression and mental health, and how he became friends with Travis Barker, who actually ended up signing him to his record label DTA Records. After signing to DTA Records, he now makes music under the name Jaden, JXDN. And let's see if he's still making music. Jaden also had a best friend named Cooper, and Cooper unfortunately overdosed and passed away in 2022. That had a really big effect on Jaden's life, and he suffered even more with his mental health problems. Also, I will say he looks literally like a brand new person. He looks brand new, y'all, than he did when he was in the Soy House. His most recent album was released June 28th, 2024, titled When the Music Stops. So that is Jaden Hossler. Josh Richards. So Josh Richards has a really interesting history in business, actually. For some reason, I know he doesn't look it, but at 18, he was the chief strategy officer of the whole app Triller at 18 years old. So actually, he is a lot smarter than he seems. He doesn't seem too smart, but once you actually get to know him and look at his actual work history, he knows a thing or two about business, actually, surprisingly. For where he is now, Josh Richards actually started an acting career, which I didn't know about. So he had roles in 2 films so far, including Brother's Keeper and Summertime Dropouts, and he's currently filming Dream Scenario with Nicolas Cage and Noah Centineo. I never learned how to pronounce his name, but the dreamy heartthrob guy that's in all of the teen movies. I think he was in The Kissing Booth. He's also now the CEO of a brand new company called Crosscheck Studios, which is another talent agency or media agency founded by him and another person named Krissa, and he's currently a co-host on the BFFs podcast with Brianna Chicken Fry. So to be honest, Josh Richards probably did the best for himself out of anyone in this stupid Sway House. I actually kind of applaud him for also not really being problematic either. To be honest, the guy just seems like he's living his life. Keo Sear. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So Keo Sear, as for where he is now, so he is an advisor for a brand called Superpower. I have no idea what this is. I think it's some sort of supplement company. Their ads are really vague and make no sense and have nothing to do with the product. 100 lab tests, results tracked over your lifetime, and a private medical team, all for $499. So I guess this is a private healthcare company. So Keo Sear is currently an advisor for a privatized healthcare company for just $500. You can join today to get free lab tests. I will never need that because I have free healthcare. Oh, Canada. He also is an advisor for another company called Shop on Gold, which has no bio and no information. I'm guessing this is his new company. Maybe something to do with gold. Griffin Johnson. So Griffin Johnson was from Illinois, and he is the person who dated Dixie D'Amelio in 2020. Who Jaden Hossler tried to hook up with. So that was also beef. Jaden Hossler was trying to steal Griffin Johnson's girlfriend, Dixie. So they were in that same Sway House. So that was kind of drama. And what a surprise. Griffin Johnson was actually in a fraternity called the Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity at Indiana State University. He was originally in school to be a nurse, but obviously dropped out because his social media was taking off. As for where Griffin Johnson is now, so he started his own business, a kind of sketchy financial service. It's called Animal Capital Fund. It has less than 1,000 followers, investing in the next generation of disruptors. So I have no idea what this is about. It looks like he just posted a bunch of photos of animals in May and never really elaborated on what this business was supposed to be. His entire social media has shifted from doing thirst boy thirst traps to talking about horse races with his horse that he owns with his girlfriend Sandman, who recently entered the Kentucky Derby. So basically his whole social media is just horse vlogs, horse memes, vlog with the horse, and just talking about horse races. I'm guessing that has something to do with his Animal Capital Fund. I don't know if it's a gambling thing that he's doing, if Animal Capital Fund is supposed to be some kind of horse gambling investment company, but something fishy is going on with that. But yeah, that's Griffin Johnson, world-renowned horse gambler. Anthony Reeves. So Anthony Reeves was a small town boy from Kentucky. I think that's also where Jack Harlow is from, Kentucky. In March 2020, Anthony Reeves was known for being in a relationship with another TikTok member. I think she was a Hype House member, possibly. Oh yeah, she was a Hype House member, Avani Gregg. But they broke up in November of 2022. So they were actually together for a very long time, like 2.5 years, y'all. Anthony Reeves was kind of just like one of the members. He wasn't problematic. He didn't really do anything crazy. He was just like there. And as for where he is now, so Anthony Reeves is actually a Pokemon card collector, trader, and dealer. So he actually has his Depop shop link in his bio, to which you can purchase multiple t-shirts, hype t-shirts and thrifted finds, as well as Pokemon cards and Takashi Murakami pillows. He also is a streamer. He streams himself playing Minecraft on Twitch for y'all that want to tune in. Noah Beck. I feel like Noah Beck is like one of the most famous people in the Sway House that like you would probably know for multiple reasons, but just a little background on who he is. So Noah Beck is actually from Peoria, Arizona, which I go to Arizona a lot. I actually know the area of Peoria, which is kind of cool. I didn't know he was from there. So Noah Beck was in college when he blew up on TikTok. So he was doing his first year at the University of Portland, also playing varsity soccer, and then dropped out at the end of his 2020 year because of the pandemic and also because his social media was taking off. And by January of 2020, he was one of the most followed boys in the Sway House. He had 21 million followers on TikTok. In June 2020, 6 months after the Sway House formed, that's when Noah Beck joined the Sway House. And then he did also move into the Trill House, or as I call it, Sway House 2.0, later on after the Sway House dismantled officially in 2021. He's also known for dating Dixie D'Amelio. He had like a very public, long relationship with Dixie D'Amelio and was featured a lot on the D'Amelio's reality show as well, called The D'Amelio Show. I think it aired in 2021. He was in 2 controversies during his TikTok career. In 2020, he was caught charging for TikTok duets, so he would charge people to duet him on TikTok, which, what are you talking about? You can duet people for free. Nothing's gonna stop me from clicking duet on a TikTok. So I don't understand how he thought he could charge people. And the second scandal he was in was for taking a Bahamas vacation during the COVID-19 pandemic, which, to be honest, a lot of people did. As for where Noah Beck is now, he is a successful actor and model, and he comes to my hometown a lot, like Victoria, British Columbia, the little island off the coast of Vancouver. He's there a lot. Like, he's always posting on his Instagram story that he's in Victoria. Amari, like Tana Moja's friend, Amari Stewart, also comes to Victoria. So I guess Victoria's just the spot to be. Victoria, BC is my ends. That's my stomping ground. So Noah Beck, if you see this and you're in Victoria, hit me up and we can hang out. We can go bowling. So some of the things that he starred in acting-wise were Sidelined, The QB and Me in 2024, as well as also being a co-producer on that movie, by the way, and had a guest star in a Disney original show called Doogie Kamealoha, Medical Doctor. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm too old to watch those shows, so I'm not really sure, but he's done a lot of modeling, y'all. Like, this man has been modeling left and right ever since he left the Sway House. Like, his career is going crazy, y'all. He has walked for brands like Louis Vuitton and Balmain, and also attended Paris Fashion Week. Noah Beck also is a clothing designer. That's right, y'all. Noah Beck launched the first ever genderless underwear company. Genderless underwear, I mean, the reason that underwear has a gender is because we have different parts, so we need different fitting underwear. I'm not sure how well that will work out in terms of fit and comfort. Particularly, I think for men, I think it would be kind of difficult for men to maybe fit in like a genderless underwear, or maybe a bit too baggy for women to fit in genderless underwear. I hope that you start the next Skims. I hope that your genderless underwear is revolutionary and makes you a lot of money. And I hope that it's actually a really great invention and changes the underwear game. Prove me wrong. I hope you prove me wrong. So Quentin Griggs, also another Sway House member that was kind of just there. He didn't really, I don't want to call him a background character because I feel like that's kind of mean, but he wasn't like a super controversial, super like known guy. Quentin Griggs only has 1 million followers on Instagram, which he's obviously still known, but he's like smaller than the rest of the Sway House members. He basically went viral in 2019 for posting a video of him dancing on a truck and was the youngest person to join the Sway House. He was 2 years younger than everybody else. He He was only in the Sway House for actually like a very short amount of time. He was one of the first people to leave the Sway House and actually go start his separate journey, Sway Gaming. As for where he is now, he is a singer. He became a singer. I wish I could play it for you, but I'm not about to get copy striked by Quentin Grinks. And finally, Blake Gray. So Blake Gray actually started out as a YouNow streamer, and YouNow was like the streaming version of YouTube. Blake Gray started out on YouNow in 2015, and then he joined TikTok in 2018 and built a pretty big following in a really short amount of time. I think like by 2019 or 2020, he had already had like 10 million followers and over 400 million likes. He also joined the Sway House at the same time as Quentin Griggs in June of 2020, 6 months after the house formed. But you might have seen Blake Gray hanging out with the Sway House like here and there because he was still like associated with the members before the house like invited him to join. As for where he is now, this is very interesting, y'all. So he actually was for a long time in a relationship with Tessa Brooks, who was, I know her from being part of Team 10. Yo, it's Tessa Brooks. And the competition shook from the Everyday Bro music video. I feel like Tessa Brooks would be a lot older than him. No, she's only 26. I don't know why I thought Tessa Brooks was so old because that music video came out in 2018. How old would she have been when she was hanging out with Jake Paul? Oh, 18 turning 19. Okay, that's not actually that young. The fact that my math is so bad is literally destroying my life. He also became a really high profile fashion model. Okay, so he signed with United Talent Agency and with Next Models. Those are some very stylish pictures. You got it going on, Blake Gray. He has worked with and walked for brands like Ralph Lauren, Hugo Boss, Prada, Tiffany, Dior, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, and he's walked in Milan Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week. So that was the final member of the Sway House, Blake Gray. All right, y'all, if you made it to the end of this video, congratulations. Comment Sway House so I know y'all are OGs and you made it to the end. And also comment more ideas for topics down below. I love reading through your guys' ideas and what kind of videos you want me to make. And sometimes they actually make it out the comment section, like this one right here, y'all, because I got so many requests for it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to boop the like button, and you should also probably subscribe because I post new videos just like this one every Friday and Sunday morning. But that is enough of me, y'all. But if y'all still want more, then you should check out one of these two videos because YouTube thinks that you might like them too. But I will see y'all in the next one.